It's JLJ this morning. Yes, you get two in a row. That's crazy. Crazy talk. Me. Setting things up. I have the second computer over here. It's really acting. I'm trying to figure this out. I think I just fucked it up more, but I'm trying to figure it out. Saying hello, good morning. I am just waking up. Well, I've been up for like half an hour, but I'm just waking up. And hair not done, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to, someone asked me a question. It's funny. So I want to say to everybody out there that I get DMs. I know I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of people sending me stuff privately. I can't get to all of it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, everybody. I can't get to it. I can't always get to the private messages. Sometimes I get so many. I mean, it's outrageous in my life now. But I'll see things on. But if you retweet me or something online or do something in the open world, I can usually see it better. Well, Cherie, happy trying to use that. If you say that, that's right. People have asked me. There's one person wrote me a really nice DM I just happened to catch last night, about me and Frank, my co-star Frank Moran. They missed our GH show, and I appreciate it so much. I know you guys all missed our shows. Like I said, I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes to continue to give you some stuff. Cherie, I have something possibly set up this week, Thursday, that's Y&R related. I'll keep you posted. But in terms of our show every Sunday, they're missing it. And that's nice to hear. I mean, I've been doing it for 7 years almost. Me and Frank were doing almost 7 years, and in September. She's just saying she likes our banter. She likes, even though Frank's cranky, she likes it. And she really enjoys our two men talking about soaps. Like Miss Tomlin and the family love seeing Max on soaps. It's something different, right? Someone else wrote me right after that and asked me a question. Do I ever worried about my big mouth? That's how he put it. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't, because you guys have no idea. I get some of the worst things written to me. Oh my God. I have some stuff people write to me and say to me. And some of them I have to laugh because it's so offensive, but it's so funny that someone has to write something mean to me. Oh my God. I just said, and I wrote back to that person. I just said, I know this was not your intention, but you've made me snort laughing. And I can't stop laughing. They didn't answer back, of course, because that wasn't the response they wanted. They wanted me to be upset and go off on them, I'm sure, or whatever. But I said, do you ever worry about my business? I titled this episode, Do I Worry About My Big Mouth? Oh my goodness. It warms my heart that people want to say mean stuff to me. But I said, actually, it's a bigger conversation, right? I do this now where I come on and talk to you about a wide variety of subjects. But I do the soap stuff too. I do the Star Wars stuff, and I do Hallmark. I do a lot of opinion television, they call it, right? Opinion podcasts, opinion videos, whatever you want to call them, reaction video, whatever you want to call them. I do a lot of them. I do. And I come on, and my co-host and we discuss a show or shows, and we give our opinions about it. We don't just recap them and say, well, we recap them. This happened. But also the question is, how do you feel about it? And, but it's the other side too, I also do interviews. But even in the interviews, the talent, the guests may say something you don't like, or something that you do like, or something that I don't like, or we agree on something. Like, still, no matter what you say, some segment of the population could get mad at you. I'm so used to it. I'm so entrenched in it now that it's just part of my life. But do I worry? Hardly no. I don't. The answer is no. I mean, every once in a while I do. When I was in People magazine recently, we just throw that around. About the Steve Burns situation, I was like, it's just my opinion. They asked me my opinion. I know Steve Burton, socially. Amanda Russ, speaking of my co-host who does opinion television with me, Amanda Russ, ladies and gentlemen, the YNR, bold, beautiful person. Who said that? There's a whole thing, there's a whole TikTok so that somebody does that. Who said that? Who said that? But Amanda Russ is my co-host of YNR, bold, beautiful. You're probably at work, aren't you, Amanda? I'd say you should come on for a minute. You want to come on for a minute? I'll send you the Zoom. You want to come on for a minute? I don't know if are you at work? You're probably not set up. You're probably not set up at all to be seen on TV, are you? But no, Mel, yeah, I got my big mouth. I got big mouth. But no, I've been doing it for so long. I've done it for so many different ways. That the People magazine article came out. It was so funny because I literally was just expressing what I knew and what I saw in my world. And I saw some negative comments towards me. I know you're not set up. I know you're not. As I said, nope. Amanda's like, no, sorry, guys, Amanda's not ready. She's like, no, bitches, I'm not ready to be on here on the screen. He's been set up. Well, I was gonna bring Amanda on because we do these shows, and she's supposed to be working. That she does her own podcast too, so support her podcast, Bold and Beautiful Podcast. Support it. But you know what I mean? It's like it's just that we do these shows. We talk about how we feel, and people don't always agree with you, and some agree with you, and some of the stars actually watch my show. Oh yeah, she has no air conditioning, you guys, and she lives in the hot ass South. She has no air conditioning. Girl, I feel for you. You know how I complain here. It gets warm here, and I have no air conditioning. I have no AC in my house. I have no central air heat. So when it's freezing, I'm freezing. When it's more cold, warm, I'm hot. It's not fun. But I'm not here just to give you a recap of a show. I'm here to tell you how I feel about it. Also, I have realized, being a person who is othered, I'll say it that way. I represent several groups. I never say minority because we're not minor, but I represent several outlying groups out there in the world that my voice has to be heard. I don't have the luxury not to speak up on certain things when things happen. Now, I don't believe in verbal diarrhea. There's some folks who have verbal diarrhea and they just talk, blah, 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 and I don't comment on everything. There's some things it's not my business I don't comment on. But I cover the soaps. I cover Hallmark Channel. I cover Star Wars. I comment on things that I cover and I feel are absurd. And I think, Janaea, I try to do facts. If I don't know something, I don't speak on it. Just simple as that. I'm not an expert on everything. If I don't know something, people ask me questions, I'm like, I have no idea. But there's some things I do know. I always say what I do know, I know, and I'll stand by and I'll share with you, and hopefully you can decide whatever it is you want to take from that. All these shows that I do, it's up to you to take it however you want. I'm a very real person. I am this way off camera. Drowned rat. You are beautiful, Amanda. It doesn't matter what's going on. From my hair to the clothes choices to me being a big guy, I did a show called I Am Fat. And people really got upset at me for me call myself that or talk about that. It was really interesting. And I was like, but did you did you like did you actually listen to what I was saying? Like, yeah, I had a kind of a clickbait title, but actually listen to what I said about that. Um, they just really don't understand. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, 1 second. Um, because everybody has a right to an opinion, right? Everybody does. Everybody has a right. Like let me ask, everybody has a right to their own opinion. And I always say, I never shut up people for their opinions. It's when you say things that you think are factual that aren't factual, I will jump in. If you decide to attack me for my opinion, I will choose either to respond or not. I decide. I make a choice. I go, well, do I want to respond? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Um, Miss their lives. Sorry, Julie said, that's right. Southern Belle Fantasy Ice on the veranda. That's funny. I'm sitting here reading the side comments everybody said each other. I love it. But no, that's I think I wrote something on Twitter recently. I said, well, I would never censor anybody who say what they want. Say talk what you want, but if you're going to make false statements about something, that's usually when I jump in. Or blanket statements. Or it's just right out mean sometimes I'll comment. It depends. Someone said to me, I've been fighting with her online on my channel for when calls the heart, when the Hardys. I guess she's an ex-Hardy. She's upset because of a storyline and she wants to show us off the air. To me, that makes me laugh. Because I'm like, okay, so because you don't like a storyline change, the show should just go off the air. It should not exist. And I get because if that happens, then you can say you were right. Yet there's no show on the air. And I said, now what if you're one of the folks who like that storyline? Then you'd be pissed it was off the air because someone else didn't like it. So there's no logic. There's no argument, there's no logic. It's like what you're being is petty and hateful. And I always respond usually with, so you want all the crew and the cast and hair and makeup and just lose their jobs. So that's in an economy like this, just because you don't like a storyline, the show should go off the air. And she told me, no, it's easy to get jobs. Okay. I'm just like, it's okay. So clearly she's a crazy person. She's cuckoo. And I was like, never mind. I don't know why I'm talking to you. But she has a right to her opinion about it. I didn't block her or censor her. I was like, right, exactly. There are other choices. I mean, I would say it's so funny. There's show. I stopped watching Walking Dead. I just don't watch it anymore. I watch it off the air. I was never a Hallmark movie. I was never a Hallmarky, as they call them. That was never me. I never watched Hallmark movies. I was never that kind of person. Sarah I remember hearing of Sarah Plantal. I didn't watch those. I did like the Waltons, Little House on the Prairie, Touched by an Angel, Seventh Heaven. I liked those types of shows. What was the one with Jane Seymour? Oh my God! Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Anna Green Gables. I liked all of those. I watched all of those, but I didn't watch. I was in the home. I remember the Hallmark. I remember them. I wasn't a big fan. Yeah, it's everything. Everybody. Amanda brings up another point of people just really taking it personal. Like just every storyline that happens is being done to them. I'm like, they're not trying to ruin your show. they can make bad choices just like everybody else. I mean, it happens, right? And everybody makes bad choices, everybody makes great choices, but they really do think some things are being done to them. You're like, okay, it's gonna be okay, kids. Um, and that's another thing too. But my thing is, I'm like Michelle Stafford, my buddy, who says, hate me, hate my acting, whatever. Just don't attack my kids. Don't attack, why are you attacking my appearance? I know you're going to, but that's low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit. What happened to Jackie and Christina Wagner? Jacarius, I don't know what happened. So something happened to them. I don't know what happened. Are you getting some breaking news? What's going on? Because Jack Wagner is my guy on When Calls to Heart, and Christina's on. What happened? I'm looking on here. I don't see nothing. Oh yeah, there's. That's not. Wow, how sad. I'm like, was their son Harrison? You guys said him Harrison. My name's Harrison. That's really sad. Wow. Ooh, yikes. I can't imagine losing a child. I just can't. I can't imagine my children. I can't imagine. So I don't even want to go there, I guess, on some level. You already saw me crying on the show with Amanda, us crying on the show about that. I can't even imagine. That's what he said. So heart goes out to them both. I don't even know how they're. I mean, I'm not seeing anything about it on here. It's so weird. Why no one's talking about it? The View. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, Silver New. Okay, finally. Okay, now I'm seeing it. It was their son Harrison. My middle name's Harrison. I just was like, oh my goodness. That's horrible. That is horrible. Wow. Okay. Yikes. On another note, that is very sad, but I don't want to bring this down to that today. But my heart goes out. I don't even know how they're going to deal with that. I don't even know how you come from that. But I also want to mention, I'm going to continue talking about my big mouth. But I do want to say today is Prince's birthday. I was, and I am one of the biggest Prince fans you can find in the world. I have every single album he's ever put out. I have a lot love his music now on my Spotify playlist. I get when his deluxe albums are coming out, all this extra music, I'm buying it. Prince was someone that I had never seen like that in the world. For me coming up, Prince was only 10 years older than I was. Like Madonna and Michael Jackson, he was one of the big three in the 80s. And you have to understand, Prince broke barriers in ways that people to this day can thank a million artists are out now. You could anybody from Miguel to D'Angelo to The Weeknd to Pharrell. I mean, Prince's musicianship and art transcends men and women. Prince was doing. Here's the thing about Prince. One thing about Prince that I always say this as a Black man, Prince was doing things that Black men at that time weren't doing. Prince was doing things like wearing eyeliner and women's lingerie and heels. I would say, excuse my language, early in the morning, excuse my language, but Prince was the type of person who was like, yes, I look feminine, I look soft, but I will fuck your woman. That was Prince. And he usually did. That was Prince. Prince, I remember all my girlfriends were just in love with him at the time. Even though he looked the way he looked, they did not care. It was such, they thought he was the hottest thing since sliced bread. Prince was a beautiful man. You know, you look at him, he was beautiful. You know, Prince, David Bowie, exactly. And David Bowie. My mother loved David Bowie. 10 years later, I loved Prince. I mean, just Prince, and they both died, you know, in 2016. Prince was, but today is his birthday. He would have been 63. And I'm just saying, I don't probably see me posting Prince stuff all day today. I miss him terribly. When he's one of the few deaths where I stayed in bed for a week. I was depressed. My friends would call me. I was really depressed. It was better than high heels. He did. Prince could dance them high heels. He was like 4 foot. He was like 5 foot nothing. But Prince wrote so many songs. He wrote Manic Monday for the Bangles, co-wrote Stand Back by Stevie Nicks, all the stuff with Sheila E. and The Time, and I mean, he was so. Prince took religion, sexuality, race. He's a proud Minnesotan. He mixed it all together. He mixed it all together, and him and Madonna especially, because Michael was the ultimate kind of performer. I think Michael was he was the perfectionist performer. Prince and Madonna were trying to change the system. Oh, I hear a cat. Prince and Madonna both were young, same age, in their 20s, trying to challenge the system of the 80s. Remember, this was Reagan era, Cold War, conservative 80s, you know, and they both were challenging the status quo. When Purple Rain came out, I remember how huge that was. It was huge. I've seen Prince in concert 4 times. Let me see. I saw him for 1999 with Vanity Six at the time. I saw him for Purple Rain. I saw him for Musicology and Welcome to America. I saw him 4 times. And there's no other performer like that. He amazing. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. Her version is like, but Prince wrote that. Prince wrote I Feel For You. That was Shai Khan's huge hit. Money Changes Everything. That was Cyndi Lauper. Like, there are a lot of things that Prince wrote. Prince wrote a lot of songs with people that people don't even really realize. She wrote stuff for Sheena Easton. You know, he did the Bat Dance. He did the Batman soundtrack. You know, Bat Dance. I mean, I remember he didn't talk that much in the beginning. He wasn't giving interviews. He was so like, you know. See, I remember Prince. His first album came out. I missed it for some reason. I got it later. But his second album came out. He has the feathered hair. It's a blue background, and on the back, he's naked on a horse. That's with Soft and Wet. And I Want to Be Your Lover. I want to be your lover. I mean, like, that was, and Prince played every instrument. He did all the background vocals. He did all the foreground vocals. And also and here's the thing, and Mel, you bring up something that's another thing too. Him and George Michael, may he rest in peace too. I love me some George Michael. Don't even start on that either. But today's Prince's birthday. It's about Prince. But they both fought about artists' rights. We thought he was crazy putting slave on his face and all that kind of stuff. But Prince was really trying. Things that are happening now, they weren't happening then. And Prince was like, I always say the record company should say, okay, Prince, do what you want to do, what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do, and let's see what happens. But they fought him on it, and he fought them back. And George Michael, same thing, fought him on it. And both kind of paid the price a little bit. That's why I'm so glad when they both came back with new songs, new albums. But Prince was out there really trying to tell, and I learned it from Prince. Own your masters, own your stuff. That's such a valuable lesson. Prince was online. Everybody else was online. Prince had it was a fan club, and I have his interactive CD where he was just CD-ROMs and you Paisley Park, and it just he was out there. He worked with like so Shaka Khan and Larry Graham, and he supported. He did a lot of stuff that he just did. I know the symbol. I know, me too, Sarah. I was all the symbol, but I recognize he was trying to make a point. And it goes back to, and actually, as I bring up Prince, it goes back to my big mouth. Prince was not afraid to be different. That's what it is. In this business, we have a sea of people who are just interchangeable, right? Some of these hosts I see on these shows, they look the same. They all speak the same. Every gay guy is the same kind of gay guy, and they all dress the same. They all like it's just, and to me, it's like it's all the same. And maybe that's why I am somewhat where I am today, because I'm not like them. I speak differently. I look differently. I look different. I just don't follow whatever it is those rules are. I guess I have crazy hair sometimes. I speak my mind. I just don't have that. I think people we did it. And Prince really did. He really did. Prince was speaking on issues that mattered. My favorite songs was "I Wish You Heaven." My favorite songs from Love Sexy. I think it's a great song. But "Sign of the Times," that song's about AIDS and about the time period that was happening. I felt like that album took over, where Marvin Gaye left off with "What's Going On." I thought it was a great thing about that, about life. And he can get funky. Housequake, Sexy Motherfucker, all those songs. Cream was my favorite songs. Cream, Get on Top, Cream. Yeah, I love the song. He had so many. I mean, he was so prolific. That's true, Susan. And that goes to the end of it all. Drugs are a motherfucker, and prescription drugs even worse. I almost died 4 years ago from prednisone because my dumbass doctor that I had didn't wean me off them correctly. You're supposed to be like weaned off. You're supposed to go like 20 milligram, 10 milligram, 5. I'm just kind of give an example. And I didn't get weaned that way, and I almost died. So his body took a toll from all that dancing, his knees. Like, I'm 52 years old now. I'm tired, kicking and cracking all over the place. But the pain meds, that'll fucking do it. Yes, Texas Ranger fan, underrated guitarist. Why do people know he's good? Well, that actually makes a good question, Texas Ranger fan. Like, what do people think of Prince for? Because Prince is a guitar genius also. He was recognized at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when he did the My Guitar Gently Weeps, and he just like killed it. It was great, Cherie. It was so much fun. The artists all sang their songs together. So New Kids on the Block would sing Push It, and then some people would and take it over and see what it was. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But Prince is somebody who I just wonder if the kids today even know. I'm very fortunate to live that time period. So I just want to give a little reference to Prince. Because today is his birthday. Every birthday I always do something for him. It's my little thing for today. I get on there. But he also later on he spoke his mind, became a Jehovah's Witness. He spoke his mind, but he did his things too about big mouths. And there are a lot of critics who didn't like his stuff. And I'll tell you, even the bad stuff he put out was still miles ahead of the good stuff other people put out. I will say that. Prince says music by Todd. He's a big fan. Well, Prince also loved Joni Mitchell, Jimi Hendrix, of course. What's his name? James Brown. Prince liked it. And Prince's sound, he went from R&B and disco to new wave to rock, and everything in between. He did jazz albums. Prince he loved Miles Davis. One of the best, Cherie, you can say that again, one of the best halftime shows for Super Bowl ever. It was. There's certain performances you look and you go, wow. That is funny. People don't know the point. Yeah, exactly. That's true. Takes away a fan. There's just a joke about that actually. That Prince was in a band. I mean, that Paul McCartney was in a band before Wings. But I worry that because I'm just getting older, that there people are not giving reverence to our veterans in our businesses. That's why I have a show called Forgotten Hollywood. We have a show called Have You Heard of Me? We try to give some of the history. That's probably why I'm the historian of the soaps. Because I try to, people need to realize everything is, the soaps aren't new, and things aren't new. They've all been around for years. And there were some great characters in the past. There were some great characters, great musicians in the past, great films in the past. I don't want people to forget that. Do people know who Rick James is anymore? Do they even know who Diana? Do you know Diana Ross? There's people who are just like, they're icons, and I'm like, do you even give them the same reference as my age? You Barbara Streisand, you know, it's I don't know. They don't understand. People like Prince, Madonna, and them were doing stuff. Even Michael, they were doing stuff that no one else was doing. They were doing event albums. George Michael brings up Kiss. Remember, Kiss was from that album Parade, which was from that movie that was not that good, the Under the Cherry Moon. That album, my song is Mountains. I love the song. I was sure it even has the lyrics. I love Mountains. That's my favorite song on there. And Do You Lie? My favorite song on the album. But Kiss was such a very interesting song. It literally was just a guitar and him. Kind of, you think about it, like his stuff is, even his minimalist stuff is just like amazing. So I think, and I always try to give, that's true, Janaea. Kids will not know, kids today won't know if we don't teach them. I completely agree with you. I saw Purple Rain, Sarah. I saw it so many times in the theater back then. I can't even tell you. And I saw the concert at the Forum. Here, the Forum. He was in the bathtub with Purple Rain coming down. I'll never get that. I was 15, 16 years old when I came out. And I'm just telling you, because for me, I was always a Prince fan, but I really didn't, but Michael had been really big. And Michael, you come from Thriller, and this was before Bad came out. So Michael, everybody, and I was a Michael fan too. I love Michael, but everybody was so into, I was so much into the musicianship. So I was a bigger Prince fan. And so I was waiting for Prince to have I remember I was waiting for Prince to have his moments. And it came. When I heard When Doves Cry, that was it. I remember seeing the video on MTV Premiere, and I'm like, what the F is this? And here's a trivia question for you. If you ever are at a trivia game, it's come up on Jeopardy a couple times. When Doves Cry is the only #1 song in history that has no bass in it. It's all treble. There's no bass in the song. Now, why would Prince do that? Who knows? It's just genius. I gotta sneeze. Don't come out. That's the thing. It has no bass in the song. There's no bass in the song. It's all treble. It's all higher. It's crazy. When Doves Cry, and you'll see that When Doves Cry is such an autobiographical song. It's such a relatable song. And it went #1. It was huge. It was huge. And then Let's Go Crazy came out. And Purple Rain. And I Will Die for You. And Take Me With You, Apollonia. And Beautiful Ones. And Baby I'm a Star. The album is a masterpiece. The Purple Rain soundtrack is a masterpiece. It is. And then he goes, screw all that. Here comes Raspberry Beret. You're like, what? With the cloud suit. I used to like cloud. I want the cloud suit. And his hair is all short. I was like, wait a minute. What? And it was Around the World Today. And I remember that album came out, and people were just like, what the fuck? I love that album too. I like that album. I think it's very underrated album. Pop Life in America. Some good songs in there. But it was just funny. It was like, Raspberry Beret. He just came off this huge thing. He went the total opposite. He said, screw y'all. Yeah, the backstory doesn't time. It's such a. I'm reading a current Prince book right now. I should actually. Let's slide off camera. I slide off camera. So I read several Prince books. We slide back on camera. So my brother for my birthday got me this Prince new book. It's Prince, and it's from the years 1985, 1986, the Sign of the Times years, and Parade. So it's look how thick this book is. So I'm about to start reading it. So I read the beautiful ones. Great book. This is another one. So I will be reading that. So yes. No, it was When Doves Cry. When Doves Cry has no bass. The song Purple Rain has bass in it. You can hear it in the drum, the bass. But no, When Doves Cry, there's no bass. It's the number. Look at it. You can Google it. It's one of the few songs in history that has no bass in it. That's number one. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But Prince is a big talent. I just want to give him a little shout out. We love him. And I miss him very, very much. That's kind of again, hugs, not drugs. We got to figure this out. I mean, there's a prescription drugs are just as bad as drugs in the street. And I think here's my big mouth talking. One of the things we need to look at is there's also holistic ways to work with pain. Acupuncture is another one that's a great one to look into. Chiropractors, acupuncturists, Eastern medicine. I really do think people need to look at other avenues, diet, water. Sometimes water actually helps with joints. Hemp oil and lotions for your legs and for joint. They do help. Doing CBD oil. I mean, everybody's about marijuana. It's not marijuana. It's CBD oil and blah blah. And there are a lot of things, bath sauce things or something. There's a lot of things we should look into instead of going straight to drugs. I know in some cases you have to take something, but we should look into other things also that do work for many people. And everybody said, I'm not a doctor. I used to be a nurse, but I'm not a doctor. But I just know that for my own life, for pain management, I have certain teas, certain things that really work for me. So I think something we need to really look at that. And just be really careful because Prince is a loss. There will never be another Prince. There just won't be. He's one of a kind. That's it. But who knows how much more he could have put? Who knows how much more he could have put out? That would have been wonderful. Now we're getting his older works, everything he's had in the thing, but you never know. I'm thinking about that. So that's my thing about that. But my big mouth, it's not going to change anytime soon. I will always speak out of injustice. I think even more than now, I'm learning that most fandoms are all crazy. The ones that are online is crazy. There are people in the fandoms who are like me who want to enjoy what we watch. We want to have a good time and discussing it with other people who like it like we do. We're not trolling for actors to talk shit about them. There are a lot of things that there are a lot of us fans, and some of you guys in this chat room, that we just want to watch our show, enjoy it, talk about it, have fun. We don't want it to, we call out certain things. We have to. I know that some of the other rival shows that are, I'm friends with them. They're rival shows. They make comments to me sometimes about the way we do our shows. We call it Shady Sunday, and we have a good time. We talk about stuff, and I don't care if you think my show isn't whatever. When James cries, I cry all the time. I actually have some new songs that are done. I'd play one for you, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready. They're for my next albums. But no, I think people, I love these shows. I love watching this stuff, and I will give my opinion, but I would never just go after people, and except for a few maybe. I won't go after people and make them feel bad and all that kind of stuff. I'm just here to have a good time. And I know some of the other shows look at us and go, well, you guys are always shady about this, or blah blah blah. And Frank's this way and tell me, they get mad. I don't care. I'm successful. My shows are successful. I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of folks started shows because of me and because of my co-hosts. I know people have shows because AfterBuzz TV started this whole thing. First of all, there were very few shows in the format that we were doing it in. You know, podcast, but they weren't shows the way we were doing them until AfterBuzz TV. Now there's shows from that, but we were the first, and it's all documented. You can go back in time; it's all documented. Make anything up; it's all documented. So a lot of these folks who give me a little attitude sometimes. Okay, yeah, and you wish you had my numbers. See, that's how I'm being shady again. You can talk shit all you want about me and about my co-hosts, whatever. That's fine, but I am successful. So, and I'm not. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. So there you have it. Right. We never said any bad things about the actors, except I did about Wes Ramsey. All about the characters. Thank you, George. You're always in the chat. I bring it real. I'm real. I'm always like that. I think you guys want that from me. I think you guys enjoy it. I mean, I feel like I'm not being condescending to the audience. Some people claim I am. There are folks who come in the chat room recently and accuse me of being elitist, and I'm condescending and like fuck you, whatever. I'm not, but I feel I'm not. I feel like I just talk for real to you guys. I just tell you what's going on. I tell you what I know. I try to share with you what I know, so that you're more informed. So when you go back out there, you can say, "Well, at least I heard the truth from blank," or I hear from, or you take what I'm saying and go, "Okay." I mean, because I'm telling you, I'm here in Hollywood. I'm friends with many of them. I know what's going on most of the time. Not everything, but I know what's going on. So if I tell you this is not true or not true, you can usually choose. And I'm not proven wrong. Like I always say, that's not true. And a week later, the something comes out. No, usually I'm right. I'm like telling you guys, I know who's bad and who's good. I know AfterBuzz TV. Oh, I know. I could interview all the ex-AfterBuzz hosts. There's a lot of T kids. There's a lot of T kids, a lot of T. Yes, I have over 60 books. I just released a book yesterday, Searching for Walter. I think it's 61 or 62. I can't remember what it is. It's a fun book. I was going to get into audio drama, and I don't have time, so I'm putting it out as a book. And I think it's a great read, and it's a good little story. It kind of goes along, and you follow along. It's twists and turns. It came out of me one night. I wrote it more than one night, but I mean, it came out of me one night, the idea. But I have books of other people. I have books. I'm trying to be the James Patterson or the James Lotz of James Patterson. If you find your podcast, I know. I can't do it. I'm too shady. I can't do it. AfterBuzz TV, I can't. I would get in trouble. I would get in trouble if I did that show. I maybe down the line when half of them were dead or something, then we could do it. But I would get in trouble. And I have so many negative things to say. But as I always say that, I also say AfterBuzz TV was good to me in terms of learning how to produce and give quality shows. So and give me contacts. There's a lot that they let me do. So I do always say that. I give them props for that. But there's a lot that you guys don't know about either. That I can't say yet. But no, I try to be as real as possible. Do real feelings. It's more relatable. I don't treat you like you guys are dumb, because you guys aren't dumb. Soap fans aren't dumb. Hallmark fans aren't dumb. Star Wars fans aren't dumb. People, they know when they're being snowed. They know when something James Lee Black booked in Hollywood. Exactly. Well, not really. I can describe them. Actually, their reputation is not as good as it used to be. There's nothing, Susan. But I'm telling you, it is. It's. I love the shade. It's always cooler to shade. Love it. But no, AfterBuzz TV gave me a start, and I will always, I met most of you there, and I will always be grateful for that. But now it's JLJ Media time, and we're working it out, and I want to be bigger than they are, and I'm working it out, and I'm making my ways, and I just think it's and part of that is treating you all out there like real people, treating you with some kind of respect, treating you with giving you insight to kind of what goes on, giving you a little bit of insight. I say we're the village, we're family. That's what I strive to do. There are a lot of shows just talk at you. They give information, that's it. They don't really engage with you. And I know fans want engagement. And so that's why I look at the chat. That's why I try to do this, try to answer questions. I try to engage, I mean, we're all part of this together. So that's kind of the thing that I always try to do. And it's give you full James Lott Jr. It's like, here it is. You can like it, not. There's folks that don't like me, it's fine. Like it, not like it. But see, I'm so busy. I'm on to the next thing. I'm like, okay, that's done. Next show. I don't have time. And occasionally I look back at something. Oh, okay, there's that. But yes, I have books. I'm working on my 10th album, which is crazy. Number 10. I'm looking. Okay, so I'm working on several music projects with different people and myself. But for myself, I really want to come out. I did an album with an orchestra years ago called Speaking with Strings. I'm very proud of that album. It did very well for me. I really want to do a follow-up. They really want to do it with me. We really want to do it. And so I got an email from somebody that I want to save. You know, so I really want, yes, yeah. And sometimes it's good to shut the fuck up. There's that too. There is. I don't comment on everything. I don't on everything. I comment on things I feel are important. And I try to speak out on things I feel are important. We're living in a world we kind of have to in some ways. Like right now, they're going after drag queens now, and I think it's Texas. I'm like, are drag queens really that important? Are they? Are they? I mean, we have like gas prices that are like, it's like here in LA, there is a place where it's $8 a gallon. $8. Most of the places out here, it is $7 or $6. There's no baby formula. There is rising rents and house prices. There is not enough good living wage jobs. Like, I feel like those things are more important for some reason. We should be focusing on that. We're going to focus on drag queens. Feelings 555. Oh, you watched my show, The Sprinkles Cupcakes. It's funny because, oh my God, Flobo comment, he goes, they stopped making the Cuban coffee cake. I'm like, I never had that one, but I love sprinkles. I love sprinkles. I want those. I want those cupcakes too. I really wanted them. It's not fair. It was not fair. My birthday falls on Mother's Day. It's never fair. I have to share with all the old ladies. I love it. But there's so many different things. There's racism happening. There's homophobia. There's all this stuff that's going on. Like, aren't those like more important issues than going after drag queens? I just don't. $10, guys, that's crazy. So you know what I mean? It's like I just feel like there's so many things that are much more. There was 12 shootings, mass shootings last weekend. 12. Does that bother you at all? There's 12 mass shootings. 12. There's something wrong. And they're all over the country. I mean, it's like they're just one spot. They're all over the country. They're going buck wild. People are just going buck wild, apparently. I have shootings across the street all the time. Right across the street where I live, late at night, we get shootings all the time. Police helicopters all the time. I was like, I don't get it. Our gas is, so expensive. It's costing people $100 to fill their tank. That's just ridiculous. Tips. That's funny, Susan. But you know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous, right? Asians being bashed by white people, and black folks being ostracized, and Latinos and gays and trans, and there's all this stuff happening. It's like we have to find a way to come together. I don't know what it is at this point. I don't know. If the soap fans can't come together for anything. No, actually, I said the soap fans came together for one thing. I will continue laughing about this for the rest of my life. And all I gotta say is two words: Nicholas and Esme. That was the only thing that everybody came together and was like, ew. That made me laugh on Russell. That makes you laugh, continuously laugh. They kept showing flashbacks the next day. People were like, stop showing the flashbacks, my eyes. That makes me laugh so hard. That's one of the few times the whole world came together. Actually, the second closest would be Finn's death in quotes, on Bold and Beautiful. Everyone was like, you killed Finn. You killed Finn. They all kind of collectively didn't like that. So there's a few times the soap world does come together and they're like, okay, we all agree on this. So my strawberry cake, I'll show you. Want to show you, Sheree? We show you, going to go off camera. So last night, I did my show. So I celebrated 7 years of my longest running show. Super organized show. And I made myself a cake. So I'm gonna reveal how much of it I just had a fork, and I sat in bed. I just ate it. Here it is, kids. Here's how much I ate. I just dug in. Should I put my face in it? I keep saying, just kidding. I wouldn't waste the cake, but I made a strawberry cake with pink frosting. It's so good. The pink frosting is vanilla frosting. So if I had a fork, I eat a piece right now over here. I thought I had a spoon over here. So now I got to make sure I put a spoon in here somewhere so I can have it. So yes, my strawberry cake came out fine. It's my first time ever making strawberry cake. I don't want to do that. Cheese and crackers. I have no place to put this. Over here. So yes, I have a cake. No, I don't want. I haven't watched. I don't watch a lot of stuff. I've been so busy. I've been spending time, and I want to thank all of you guys so much for being so patient. I've been spending time off camera, meaning because a lot of stuff that I do is related to TV. And then talk to you guys. I have been actually outside more, in the air, doing other things, being with family, doing other things. I've been literally watching. I've hardly watched any TV. Well, I'm gonna get to the whole JLJ thing. I'm gonna get to the whole JH talk. I just wanted to say that that's one of the few times I realized everybody, they do in LA. Michael Madison of Edition Days loves car chases. He's always posting on Instagram when there's such a car chase. They never get away. So, but anyway, the point is, every once in a while, soap fans do come together. They do. Every once in a while, they do. yeah. They actually come together and speak their mind, and Michael and Willow are a close second, but I'm telling you, when Nick and Esme slept together, I mean, literally I didn't see anybody. Even with the Peter mess, there are folks who liked Peter. Oh. And I won't say his name anymore because I'm gonna be like Beetlejuice and conjure him up. Peter. No, I won't say it anymore. But yeah, it was like completely, that made me laugh. And see, and there was what we need a good laugh. We need a good laugh sometimes. You just do. And And I try to give you guys some laughs too, and some silliness and some craziness. At the same time, mixed in, you can't be serious all the time. That just is too much. You can't watch the news all the time. You can't. You'll go crazy. You have to be careful. So like today is a light work day for me. I'm doing my reduced work hours. I have an interview later today with somebody who's a coach. That'll be fun. One of my shows. Oh my God! Look, something just came up from my Twitter. I was suggested this account, Cherie. I was just this account, Daily Taraya Screen Caps. Who are they? Let me see who they are. I was just suggested them. I'm like, who are they? Let's see. Taraya Daily. That's so funny. Okay. There you go. I'm like, okay. Yeah, all the soaps to me are fine right now. All the soaps are doing really well right now to me. I'm interested in all of them. They all got my attention, which is rare, which is very rare. I know. And people are like, and you guys weren't on this whole time. Yes, if this does happen, but we'll be fine. It'll be all good. The soaps are continuous. I'm sure good stuff will happen when we come back also. And no, I don't know when we're coming back yet. Haven't decided. I'm still taking time for me, trying to rest. I haven't shaved or anything. I'm taking time for myself. I really need this time because I have to. Here's the thing, you guys are family, so I'll tell you what's going on. Like, come close. I'm just kidding. Are you listening? Are you ready? I have to feel motivated to do these shows. That's just it, bro. That's it. I have to feel motivated to want to do these shows. I love you guys. It's fun, but it's work. You guys have to come in and just hang out. I have to do all the stuff, prepare for it, and do the engineering, and the lighting, and I have to do all this. It's a lot of work, and sometimes right now I don't feel like doing it. I have been enjoying just watching the soaps for the soaps. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Just really enjoying them. I don't know. TV. I told Flo you said that yesterday. He was loud. He was busted up. It's a lot. I do over 30-something shows. So some of my shows are on hiatus. Not just soaps. I have a bunch of shows are on hiatus right now. I'm doing very little shows right now just because I need a goddamn break. I do. And now with all these chicken pox and all these things, I'm like, ugh, all this stuff, monkey pox and shit going around. I'm like, ugh. It can, Nicholas. It can. Like Amanda came and come on. She's like, I wanted to bring her on, but she's not ready to be on because she has to get herself together, get her background together, set everything up. Like we love doing it. We love doing it. Yeah, films. I love you. You're my favorites. AfterBuzz went out of business. It was out of our hands. They literally are just a name only. They have no shows, nothing. They sold the studio. There's nothing. There's no AfterBuzz TV. Not really, just online. But it's not. I mean, people wanted to go on. People still wanted to stay there and do stuff, but they said bye. We're going on hiatus, and they never came back. That was 2 years ago. I had several places I worked for when I was business. They just pulled up. That was it. So trust me, there are a bunch of AfterBuzz TV hosts who wish AfterBuzz TV was still there. It was a great location. It was everything. Oh, good. Yeah, but join us for Obi-Wan. That's my number one show right now. James Earl Jones is mom. He's back. But I told all this shit about AfterBuzz. I know AfterBuzz was great. AfterBuzz was a great location. It was a great everything. They closed up. It was not us. They had nothing to do with us. We had to that's it. That's it, kids. So I'm like, well. So that's why I try to have, because I know AC. I know Amanda can't be on TV right now, so I can be on TV right now. Because trust me, I've done shows with no AC and it is not fun. It's not fun. But no, I really do miss it. That's why I try to bring as many of my co-hosts from AfterBuzz on. It's not being used for anything. I heard it's just sitting there. A friend of mine who's from AfterBuzz needed it for storage space for a little bit, and she was able to do that. But no, it's just sitting there, just empty. The lights off. There's nothing happening over there. If I could buy that building, you guys, I had the money, I'd buy it. Oh, thank you, Cherie. I appreciate that. I know I do. I really do. But like I said, I try to give you guys little fun things while I'm off. So I say, Cherie, stay tuned. There's some stuff coming. If you haven't watched my interview with Amanda's man, Jordy Villasuso played Ray, watch that. James Reynolds interview, that's out now too. Check those out. Do they have bad? They had several things. It's not my place to tell. Obviously, I don't know the full story. This is where I go. I don't know the full story. I really don't. I know parts of it, but it's not really my place to say. It's. I have a feeling there's many things. The things that I did see, like kind of bad management, just poor choices. But I think there's bigger stuff that went on behind that even I didn't know. But I really can't comment too much because I don't really know exactly what was the catalyst and what was the whole thing. But I'm sad it's gone. I am sad it's gone. It's just I wish I could buy it. I wish I could. Oh my goodness, I wish I could. I wish I could. God, I would love to have that space and start doing these shows again. And it's well, it is, and it isn't. Well, it's as a business owner myself, in some ways it is and it isn't. So yeah, there's a lot of things that AfterBuzz evolved into a school of some sorts. And I think that was the mistake, in my opinion. I feel like it should have been. They didn't have enough resource to have it be a school and a studio. I feel like there should have been two separate things going on. Like you have the AfterBuzz TV School Academy, they have the AfterBuzz TV Studios, and have people run them separately. They had a staff they overworked. I can tell you that for sure. They had a staff they completely overworked. So that's what I'll say there. But there are things they could have done, in my opinion. Jordy should be prime time. I know Ed Asner. So Ed Asner, so online, there's probably 3 interviews with him and me, 2 or 3. But I've met him 3 or 4 times over the years. I loved Ed Asner. Ed Asner, when he died, I was very sad because I got to know him off screen as well as on screen, and we always had a great time together. That's true to you, Susan. Too. But no, I really enjoyed him, and that's the problem. In a way, I interview a lot of older people in the business. I love it. I love talking to them. Well, that means chances are they're going to go before me if things go the way they're supposed to go in nature. And I'm losing some of them. Felice Sampler was another one. I loved her, and she was from Days of Our Lives, and she passed away. I interviewed Gloria Loring, but Ellen Thicke had passed away, and it was like so I kind of adjacent. Jeannie Cooper died. I interviewed her son, Corbin Burnson. So Roger Moore died. I interviewed his son, Timothy Moore. So it's like there's all these either adjacent or the person themselves that I've interviewed. There are a few people that I've interviewed that are older. I'm telling you right now that when they go before I do. I will be devastated just because of the personal relationships I've made with them. It might be Thursday, Cherie. I'm have something planned for Thursday tentatively, or not in quotes. I have a pin in it. So if I might be able to announce it Thursday too. Yeah, Ed Asner worked till he died. He was on everything. He worked until he died. What a man. Sharp as a whip too. And I'll never forget it. One of my interviews he said at the end, he grabbed my hand and said, "This was very lovely. I will not soon forget this interview." And I thought that was such a wonderfully warm moment between me and him. as interviewer, because there's a whole. So here's a little thing about interviewing. I'm gonna give you a little insight. There's already kind of a weird wall between interviewer and interviewee, because the interviewer is nervous, not sure what you're going to ask, afraid you're going to try to make some scandal. They're kind of on the defense. They might have to defend something, or just in general having to be themselves and talk about their projects. So there's a natural kind of barrier a little bit. The interviewer, they want to make sure that they look good, they ask the right questions, get the right answers, have a good interview. And plus all the other 10,000 things you're doing at the same time, behind the scenes. So then you come together, you never know what you're going to get. There has to be a chemistry between you and the interviewee. There has to be chemistry. I believe that wholeheartedly. And some of my interviews, I've had amazing chemistry. And luckily, there's people I've interviewed over and over again that now that's, me and Eric Braden have natural chemistry, Michelle Stafford, Sean Kanan, Wally Kurth, Kathleen Gotti, Taraya, the girls Taraya. I know you get nervous, Amanda, because it's just new for you. But you always do fine. It's just new for you. But I get a little nervous sometimes myself still too. 11 is 65. Woo! For birthday week. But Corbin is great. Corbin and his wife Amanda Pays are wonderful. I have their book. They were wonderful people. But my whole thing is kind of that it's you want to create this relationship where they can trust you, so they can tell you stuff and tell you stuff that won't. My thought is always you want to spotlight them and make them feel good and make them look good and have a good time. Go, I want to come back. That was so much fun. I want to come back. I will come back and tell you something. There are folks who were like, where I've talked and everything. Oh yeah, okay, so Amanda and I laugh all the time about Tanner Novlin, who plays Finn. That was one of the few times. Okay, now mind you, I've interviewed my crushes, Donnell Turner, or Lawrence St. Victor. All of them. I've interviewed all of them for it. I'm fine. For some reason, Tanner Novlin threw me off guard. It's one of the few interviews where I'm just like, I'm just like getting excitement. I couldn't. I really thought, because he's so stiff on the show, I just thought it's probably gonna be stiff in real life. I mean, I know actors are acting, but I just thought he would be. Yes, we were caught off guard. He was so charming. He was funny. And then when he smiled, you're like, what? Oh no, Nicholas, he's charming. Or he was so easygoing before the interview, afterwards. We talked to him afterwards. Like the Stafford Project. I have the Stafford Project. Where is it? Do I have it over here? I don't have it over here. But because Michelle's my friend, I grabbed a couple of copies of her DVD. I have it. It was such a good show. He was fun. And Amanda will tell you, there was a point when I lost it. I was just like, no question, Amanda. I couldn't get together. I just couldn't. And I was totally taken. And I remember being caught off guard because I was like, why am I about him? Like, I wasn't like, Finn is fine on the show. He comes up to fine again, the whole thing. All that, but I was not like Goo Goo Gaga over here on the show. But now that I've met him and done an interview with him, now I am liberty. I'm in. I'm all in. I'm in. I'm in. Whatever he does, I'm in. But that was such a weird, for me as a seasoned interviewer who's interviewed thousands of people at this point, he took me off guard. I literally was just like, I didn't know what to do myself. Did not know what to do myself at all. It was crazy. It was something. I have to tell Michelle, you guys, we were talking about the show. We're both in. I know I'm in. I'm in. I'm in. I'm in it. I'm like, whatever he does, I'm in. It's like, If I ever get Josh Swickard from General Hospital, who plays Chase, he's the most handsome man on daytime. If I ever get him, I'd probably cry. I won't do either. But yeah, Tanner was super, super charming, and he was nice. So if he ever comes back to the show, I will need all my girl support because I'll be like, well, it's funny because Amanda was like, I don't believe it. I can't believe he's dead. I don't believe it. Like Amanda was, I mean, first one I thought of was because Amanda had Ray and Finn that week. It was a rough week for Amanda. I was like, it was a rough week. I was like, this is rough for her. Both her men that she's always talking about both get killed in 1 week. I don't know if Amanda's heart could take it. That's why we were so emotional that day on both shows. But and Ray, he is dead. That's all that. But with Finn, I'm not surprised. I was surprised, but not surprised. They did a good job. They did a whole thing. They did a whole thing that was very interesting. That made us think he was gone. And he went on vacation, did his stuff. They always wanted advice. And I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he'll be back. And I'm glad maybe he's in the coma now, but I'm glad he'll be back. See, and that's the thing, folks. It's called storytelling, right? It's called storytelling. And in today's time period, it's in today's world when there's spoilers and everything, I'm so excited that they try to be bold again. And bold has been being bold all the last couple of years. They've been trying things. I'm like, why? They're back to quarter again. I never thought in a million years quarter would be back, so to speak. And that Donna is with. I mean, they're trying stuff, and they want to surprise us. That's the whole point. They want to surprise us. I'm like, please surprise me. I want to be. I don't want to say. I don't want to know everything that's going on. Like, surprise me. So I'm going to pull it off. Yes, right, original Zoom meeting at the same time. That was double tasking. Hi, handsome man. Yes, Cynthia Watros and Laura Wright will be on the live report Wednesday. I'm very excited. Yeah, Josh Swickard, I know he's just like dreamy. I even watched his Hallmark show, where that movie was that he did, that Christmas movie he did, that he wrote with his wife. I think he's so handsome. It is crazy. Oh yeah, Matt, you guys know each other, I think. Matt Litchfield of Spectrum Celebrity Events. He does the day stuff. But I think he's so hot. Well, things always happen around. Well, Nicholas, things always happen around holidays. That's always a big thing. That's always big. And then there's May sweeps. There's always kind of times of the year they do stuff. But like all the shows right now are good. If you want somebody who's fine. Now that I met him, I have a little crush on Carson Boatman. And now here's what's funny. He has an AfterBuzz TV connection. His wife was an AfterBuzzer. So that's another connection there. And my co-host Marissa Serafini for What Comes to Heart is friends with the wife and with Carson. I only met Carson at the Spectrum Celebrity event with Matt and the Days. I didn't remember before. He's really cute. I was like, wow, he's funny and he's cute. And I was like, okay, I'm in. I love his acting. I think he's a great. I think him and Lindsay are a great addition as the twins. But my man is Lamone Archie. Lamone Archie is fine as fuck. And I know him also off camera, and he's nice and funny and friendly. He's always been great to me. He's fine. He's good looking. He good looking. Woo! He is. Yeah, Josh can sing and dance. Yeah, he can. He can do all that stuff. A lot of actors can sing and do all the things. They just on soap operas. They get a chance. Sometimes they get a chance to showcase them. But yeah, I do like me some Cameron Matheson. I've been a fan of his for a long time. I had to work with him on a special I did last year at Christmas Not Canceled. And he hot too. They're all hot. I guess because I haven't had any in 2 years. I think everybody's hot right now at this point. As I said, the pandemic's been rough for some of us. Let's say that. And on that note, I'm going to end the show. I've been on for over an hour. I'm going to fix my hair, make some breakfast, do something. I'll take my hair out right now. I didn't apply in a ponytail. But so I can do something with this. Do something with this. I'm going to do something with this. I don't want to do with it yet. So I'll do like this. Hi, you can see. I'm going to do some of my hair. But thank you guys. Thank you. You still watch Statue of Coincidence. That's funny. Yeah. I tell the truth, you guys. I tell the truth, shame the devil. James, a little dry over here. It's been 2.5 years of the pandemic, been dry. So I'm working on some stuff right now. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But anywho, yeah, it's only almost 10 o'clock here. Get braids. I know. I might get braids. I thought about getting braids and getting corn rolls or something. I haven't decided yet. I gotta see if I get into the Emmys. If I get into the Emmys, then I'll let you guys know what I'm gonna do. I think I have a suit already. I may show it to you guys. I think I have a suit already for the Emmys. So I gotta see what's going on. But I love you guys. Have a good day today. I might come back on later for daytime today. Have a good lunch, Amanda Russ. My co-host Amanda Russ, ladies and gentlemen. Bold and Beautiful podcast. It's out there. Nicholas and V and Susan, Janae, and Leopardess. Have a good work your birthday week. Have some fun. Do some shit. Whatever. Get out there and do some stuff. Matt, I love you. Everybody, I will talk to everybody later. Hopefully I'll look better later also. My coffee is gone now, so my Puerto Rico cup. It's my family in Puerto Rico. I love you. And I will see you next time. And how do I end this thing?